So what's this I hear about James Harden's nephew, freaky deaky at James Harden's mansion in Houston, and it's a woman claiming that she's suing them and the nephew Harden and the security team because something was in her drink and it's some freaky deaky went on. What do I think about it? I feel like Robin Harris right about now. Follow the beard, follow the beard, follow the beard. If all else, follow the beard. You know, when you got that beard, you are a mark. Is he not a mark when he chokes in the second rounds of playoffs when he gives you two good games and he's done in six? And so now he's a mark in his own home. Give me a break. Now, I got something I want to say about this. If you are held as negligible in your mansion, then what about all these other people who done freaky deaky stuff in homes? I always just assumed that it was the main culprit would be involved. And what happens to the criminal cases? How come they don't do? It's easy to get the bag, and if you want to pursue something more, you can. But how do you really go about doing this? And there's more questions being asked than anything because did James Harden, what was the in detail? What was securities in detail? What was the nephews in detail? My first reaction is follow the beard, follow the beard. All else fails, follow the beard. Because I'm not trying to make light of it. However, you have to know when you're going to certain people's places, you know good and well y'all not going back there to play Twister. Y'all ain't playing Uno or no Connect Four. Y'all ain't gonna be throwing darts around. You ain't gonna be doing I sink my battleship. You know good and well what's going on. And you know good and well that it's easy to follow the beard than it is to be accountable for actions. But follow the beard is all else. Because you can always say, well, he didn't do it. It was the beard that did it. Because that's how they just basically know him because of that beard. And this is a situation where I haven't heard this one said before. But there have been situations where people have had situations occur. Even in the Diddy case and stuff, you don't hear nobody say, oh, yeah, that happened there. And I'm going to hold so and so accountable. No, who they hold accountable? The person who owns the house. Or they going to, like, how they going to do. I'm quite sure that when they go to these people's places, they have security, they have an NDA, they have things signed, they know what they're doing. They're not going there unbeknownst and all innocent and meek. Now, that's not to say something didn't go down, but it'd be kind of hard pressed to prove that it did. You know, so it all depends on what they're trying to, what the angle is. But um, you know, you sense these things, you hear these things, you wear these things. You know, it's just like, man, it's just like it goes on so often than not. And after a while, you almost become numb because if you are an entertainer or an athlete, you gotta be very careful. And you got to know that somebody's going to definitely try it. And if it's really, really real, then why don't you feel criminal? Why don't you make a statement ASAP? Why take all this time? And just so random that everybody is held accountable, even though there was one person who allegedly did it, and you're going to say negligence? How can you prove negligence? James Harden can't move that fast. You see him on the basketball court, him and that beard go one in each other's way. They get in each other's way. There's no way in the world he would not have known if something was going on. So it's just another twisted situation. We got to see how it all plays out. And I'm not trying to downplay it. However, it sounds very suspect, especially if you got security and all that. You had to sign a non-disclosure and you had to been checked out when you came in. Because to go through all that bother to have security and to understand the situation, there's got to be more to it than that, you know. So I'm just saying. It sounds like everybody in that house was 304. And if you lived in Houston, you know you got plenty of area codes. There's enough area codes to go around, so I don't know. But you tell me what you think in the comments below. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shit if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.